Here are 35 Eckhart Tolle quotes that will promote your spiritual growth. Whatever you fight, you strengthen, and what you resist persists. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. Primary reality is within, secondary reality without. Some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learn something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. If you remain stuck, you learn nothing. Time isn't precious at all because it is an illusion. What you perceive as precious is not time, but the one point that is out of time, the now. That is precious indeed. The more you are focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Is there a difference between happiness and inner peace? Yes, happiness depends on conditions being perceived as positive. Inner peace does not. You do not become good by trying to be good, but by finding the goodness that is already within you and allowing that goodness to emerge. But it can only emerge if something fundamental changes in your state of consciousness. The moment you become aware of the ego in you, it is strictly speaking no longer the ego, but just an old conditioned mind pattern. Ego implies unawareness. Awareness and ego cannot coexist. To recognize one's own insanity is, of course, the arising of sanity, the beginning of healing and transcendence. Whenever you become anxious or stressed, outer purpose has taken over, and you lost sight of your inner purpose. You have forgotten that your state of consciousness is primary, all else secondary. What a caterpillar calls the end of the world we call a butterfly. It is when we are trapped in incessant streams of compulsive thinking that the universe really disintegrates for us, and we lose the ability to sense the interconnectedness of all that exists. Knowing yourself is to be rooted in being instead of lost in your mind. Don't wait to be successful at some future point. Have a successful relationship with the present moment and be fully present in whatever you are doing. That is success. If there are people you haven't forgiven, you're not going to really awaken. You have to let go. It is through gratitude for the present moment that the spiritual dimension of life opens up. Love is a state of being. Your love is not outside, it is deep within you. You can never lose it, and it cannot leave you. It is not dependent on some other body, some external form. It seems that most people need to experience a great deal of suffering before they will relinquish resistance and accept, before they will forgive. The mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. To put it more accurately, it is not so much that you use your mind wrongly. You usually don't use it at all. It uses you. Be at least as interested in what goes on inside you as what happens outside. If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. Power over others is weakness disguised as strength. True power is within, and it is available to you now. Nothing out there will ever satisfy you except temporarily and superficially, but you may need to experience many disillusionments before you realize that truth. Wherever you are, be there totally. If you find your here and now intolerable and it makes you unhappy, you have three options: remove yourself from the situation, change it, or accept it totally. Emotion arises at the place where mind and body meet. It is the body's reaction to your mind, or you might say a reflection of your mind in the body. What a liberation to realize that the voice in my head is not who I am. Who am I then? The one who sees that. Suffering has a noble purpose, the evolution of consciousness and the burning up of the ego. If the thought of lack, whether it be money, recognition, or love, has become part of who you think you are, you will always experience lack. Rather than acknowledge the good that is already in your life, all you see is lack. Awareness is the greatest agent for change. No ego can last for long without the need for more. Therefore, wanting keeps the ego alive much more than having. The ego wants to want more than it wants to have, and so the shallow satisfaction of having is always replaced by more wanting. How you react to people and situations, especially when challenges arise, is the best indicator of how deeply you know yourself. The ego isn't wrong, it is just unconscious. When you observe the ego in yourself, you are beginning to go beyond it. Don't take the ego too seriously. Above all, know that the ego isn't personal. It isn't who you are. Invite the opening to the new state of consciousness, instead of waiting for life to do it to you. If you gained value from this video, we would love to hear from you in the comments as we are all on this journey together. Subscribe to the Inner Spark Society and unleash the boundless potential of your spiritual journey. Thank you for watching.